Well, welcome back to Tabletop and Beyond. I'm your host, Justin, and I'm here with Jason.
What's
Welcome,
up?
buddy. So since you kind of kicked off our session, I thought you were going to intro us, and I was
Nah,
like
man.
waiting for it. All
You're
right,
the host.
yeah, all right, here we go. We got an interesting episode for you guys today. We're going to do a quick Geek Week, which we normally do, and then Jason's going to introduce a DM-free RPG that he picked up while on travel. And we're going to roll up characters and we're going to play a little session for you.
Yeah, man. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be awesome. So, of course, let's start with our Geek Week. Jason, how was yours?
Geek Week was good, man. This past week, met with a bunch of our listeners at Huzzah Hobbies, and we had a night of Warcry Thursday night. It was good. There was 4 of us there, so we had 2 games going simultaneously. I had a mirror match. Of what's the one that has the first thing?
Untamed Beasts.
Untamed Beast. Thanks.
Yeah.
Untamed Beast mirror match. It was fun. Never done that before. I would say that we confused each other's models multiple times. I'd be like,
Nice.
"All right, I'm gonna move in and I'm gonna swing on this guy," and he was like, "Wait, that's yours." I was like, "Oh crap!"
Like, no wonder why he was in such a good position to kill.
yeah, right. It's like, I don't know why he was putting his model there, but okay, but so good. I think we had some good guys there. It was fun. Lots of games in. That was cool. And then Saturday went to during the day. I was able to go to our buddy Lincoln's place. Couldn't get up to Huzzah. I know there were some guys that wanted to play some more games there, but I was able to squeeze out to Lincoln, our friend Lincoln, who's been on the show a few times, and we did a 6-hour Frostgrave game with 6 players on a gigantic board. In fact, let me see here real quick. I bet on my Google Photos. Yeah, let me pull this up over here and share my screen. See if you can see this. Where's the share the screen? All right, present, share screen. Should have figured this out by now, right after COVID and all that. Here we go. So check this table out, man.
Oh my gosh, that is humongous.
Look at all the terrain on this thing, right? Amazing, right?
How did you distribute the players? There's 6 people. Was it just 3 on each side, or?
Yeah. So we started with, if you kind of take the table long ways. When we started playing, there were only 5 of us, so it was, you just cut the table in half, and then it was start 1 on that edge, start 1 on that edge, 1 here, and then there was someone at the head of the table. When the 6th guy came, he came just right after like round 1, or we rolled him right in, and he just came right on the edge. So it was really just every table edge. And then when we ran creatures, we actually rolled twice at the end of the turn for creatures to come in. Once for this half of the table and the other for the other half of the table, because the table was so big.
Yeah.
If you just brought a creature in on like one little edge, like that creature wouldn't affect anyone's game but like one person. Right. So it was awesome, dude. We had creatures coming in like nonstop in this game, and there was a lot of engagement. And even the player at the very end, I think, except for the players at either long end of the table, everyone else interacted with everyone else throughout the game.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The players at the opposite ends, I don't think they ever really engaged with each other, but everyone else absolutely. So really awesome, fun game. It's a casual. It's a very casual game. You're not.
His terrain looks awesome.
It is great, man. There's really cool. In fact, trying to see, there was some really tall, see this thing right here, this long, this really tall tower. I mean, that thing's probably like almost 2 feet tall, probably.
Wow.
Multiple sections. So we had treasures inside the building. So dude, it was hilarious. Like, I had a guy go in the building once, so he actually inside that building. I had a guy, the first round, I sent this thief running for that building, and then my apprentice cast leap on him, which lets him move 10 inches.
Yeah.
So he runs forward, she casts sleep on him, he leaps into the building. I'm like, okay, cool. I bet everybody's going to forget about this guy.
Yeah.
Because he's inside this building while they're all fighting outside, right? So like almost the entire game, he's slowly making his way up this building. Nice. He gets to the top, he gets a treasure, and on my turn, everyone's like, okay, he gets the treasure, like, oh yeah, that guy, right? And then he'd start making his way slowly down. Like the last turn of the game, He finally pops out of the building, and right when he pops out of the building, Lincoln's wizard goes and just explodes him with this thunderbolt. He's like, gets the treasure. He's like, okay, okay. And then he finally gets out of the place. And he's like, all right, boss, I got the boom. And he just explodes.
That's so funny.
I was like, all right.
How long did each round last for if you had 6 players?
So the game took 6 hours. But it's, I don't know, man. Frostgrave's hard because it doesn't take a long time, right? Because you split the round up into like wizard phase, apprentice phase, fighter phase, creature phase.
Yeah.
There's 4 phases and you're circling quickly, right? Because at the beginning, like everybody's grouped around your wizard and your apprentice, but after that, it's like your wizard goes, you move 1 model, then the next guy moves a model,
right?
And then you'll move like maybe 2 models. So I'm not sure, but it took 6 hours, and we probably had about 5 or 6 rounds, so maybe about an hour round.
Okay.
On average.
How many? Like, was it a bloodbath with all the creatures?
It was a bloodbath with creatures and each other, right?
Yeah.
I think Oh, this is hilarious, dude. Lincoln's entire warband, except for 2 people, 3 people, except for 3 people, his entire warband died. And,
oh my gosh! Like
dead? Died when we rolled it, right? Because they get taken down, and then you roll, and like his wizard dead, his apprentice dead. The only people that survived was like a thief and a thug. Like the guys you don't care about.
The ones that are super replaceable.
Yeah.
So funny.
So fun times. Great games, a lot of fun. It's when you get permission and you can sneak away from the house. It's fun to do that and play with a bunch of fun guys. So that was my Geek Week. About yours?
Very nice. Very nice. For my Geek Week, it was about assembly. So I had 2 things happen. One, I was able to use a bunch of old gift cards that I thought were empty, but I decided, before I throw this away, maybe I should check the balance. Yeah, one of them had $45 on it, one of them had $50 on it, and one of them had $75 on it. So I'm sure glad I didn't throw those away.
Yep.
So I used that plus some gift card points I had from a rewards credit card, and I ended up getting an Ender 3 Pro 3D printer and a spool of filament for $9. So pretty excited about that. So that came in on Friday. I got it assembled. I haven't leveled the bed yet and done that. That was my plan to do this week. But it's assembled and ready to go. And then yesterday, my daughter had finished a Harry Potter book that she was reading. And so we told her, when you finish the books, we can watch the movies. And so we were going to watch Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, a movie that I've seen at least 6 times because all my kids have read the books and watched them and multiple times and all that.
Yeah.
And so I said, I am going to assemble my Legion army that I got in the mail the other day. So I assembled Grandmaster Yoda. I assembled 2 units of Wookiee warriors. I assembled 2 units of Phase 1 clones, 1 unit of Phase 2 clones, and also an AT-RT and a Wookiee chieftain. So I've got my 800-point army ready to go, and it is going to be a Kashyyyk-themed Galactic Empire versus the Separatist style, right? So the clones are going to have like jungle camo, and I'm going to try to base them with like ferns and very jungly type things. Yeah. Oh, nice. You pulled it up. Yep. So what's crazy is that's not like a huge box, but that is my whole army right there. Like, it's not a ton of models in an 800-point army.
How many models is it? I guess we can count, but it's kind of hard when they're all gray.
So there's like on that box that you're showing, there are 12 Wookiees. There are 18 clones, 2 Yodas, because there's 2 different Yoda poses that come in the box, and an AT-RT. Like, that's all there is. So
I mean, that's so 12, 18, 30, then 34, 33, 34.
Yeah, about that.
Some guys, I mean, it makes sense. I think my Blizzard box is like Oh, so is that are all of those in your 800 point thing? I guess you don't have 2 Yodas, do you?
No, so there would be 4 Wookiees in a unit, with my because I'm
Mm,
there's 3 in a normal unit, and I'm upgrading to include an extra one, right? So there would be 4 Wookiees. There's like 6 troopers in each one, so there's
yeah.
18, 28 plus a Yoda 29 plus an ATRT 30 plus a 31. There'd be 31 in there.
Yeah, it sounds about right because I think from the Blizzard box, it's 4 snow troopers, but then you can add a snow trooper, right,
Yeah.
as one of the things. So there's like 5, there's 3 of those, so 15, the ATST 16, Darth Vader 17, and then the speeder bikes 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. And
Yeah.
actually there might be a 4th unit of snow troopers, but it's on the order of like 20 to 30 models on the
Which
table.
which is like this is Legion's equivalent of an 800 point army for Legion is the equivalent of a 2,000 point army in Age of Sigmar.
Age of Sigmar, yeah.
But my Night Hunt 2,000 point army, even the more elite one, not the Horde one that I have, but even the more elite one has 45, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, like maybe 50 to 60 models. 50 to 60, and that's a more elite one. If I wanted to go full horde, you're talking like 80 to 90, and this has like 31. Right? So
Yeah.
much more manageable. And they're all like the same base size, which is kind of crazy, except for the ATRT.
Yeah, same on mine. They're all the same base, which actually made batch doing the bases super easy.
Yeah.
Right. Especially
Yep.
because I'm doing a snow theme. So I took all those bases and I just put them on like, like a 1x4
Yep.
and just like,
Yeah.
and then like, did the special effects to them, like just all in one, like, sitting. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it was all about assembly. This week I am getting my hobby space kind of reclaimed and put together. I had a lot of different things going on, so I'm looking to, make a dent in my war on the gray that I have promised to do, but somehow I keep importing gray and not exporting. So, I'm losing still.
yeah.
One of my New Year's resolutions was to do better, to make progress against the war on gray, and I have not. I have not.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, we should speaking of painting, let's do this just real quick, right? I'm gonna in our Discord, I'm gonna share one of our guys who's been with us
oh
just a
yeah,
short time, Bad Song Ninja, right? He's been painting up a Frostgrave warband. There's his Druidic warband, right? So look at that.
yeah.
Don't those look awesome, right?
They look great. Are those are 3D printed too, I think, right?
I think that the trees might be, but these are actual Frostgrave minis.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Frostgrave minis. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So obviously he's got a mix of the thugs and the thieves and rangers in there and stuff, but his wizard and an apprentice up here at the top. So, Bad Son Ninja, good job, man. You got your thing ready to go. Now we got to get him on the table and play a game, right?
100%.
100%.
I can't wait for us to do a Frostgrave podcast. I want to try to find like one of the main Frostgrave guys and get him on the show because I think that would be a fun one. I had always seen Frostgrave as like an interesting game system. I ended up picking up some Frostgrave minis way back when. We're talking about when I was running the Shadow of the Demon Lord RPG. I picked up
Oh,
Frostgrave
wow.
minis to use as like cultists and stuff like that because there's a cultist box that they have that it's like super awesome. And the minis were kind of hard to find, but when you found them, like it was a really good deal. It was like $15 for a pack of 20 minis or something like that. Like it was a really good deal, and they're great for like little Frostgrave tabletop.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking like this looks like a really cool game to play. It's kind of a skirmish game / RPG, and I mean we just had limited time, so I didn't really explore it until our friend Lincoln was like, "Hey, you guys got to try it." So, which we did at Adepticon, and I think it's great. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Good fun game to play when you want to have a little bit of competitiveness, but at the same time are okay just having fun with friends, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think the thing I love about it is even if you are new to playing the game, you can feel like you're accomplishing something in Frostgrave by just grabbing a treasure and
Yeah.
yanking it off the board,
Right.
And getting XP for failing to cast spells is
Yeah.
great too, right? You feel like you've done something.
Yeah, and the mechanics aren't that difficult, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not like you have to learn a lot of crazy things to do it. So
Yeah. Cool.
pretty easy. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, awesome Geek Week. It sounds like I'm sad I missed out on some of the games. I called Lincoln on Friday and he's like, "Come up and play," but my wife was out of town and the kids were needy, so I had to stay
Yeah.
home.
Yeah,
You know.
they're like that. They're like that always.
Yeah.
Freaking kids.
So, but before you went to Lincoln's house, Jason, earlier this week, you were traveling and you stumbled
Yeah.
across an interesting discovery. I don't even know what this whole thing is called. You just sort of like, dude, I picked this thing up. I got to tell you about it. So, I'm kind of new hearing about it too a little bit.
Yeah. Let me pull this up. So I was traveling in Colorado, and there's a game. Usually when I'm traveling to five, I usually travel with coworkers, and so my nights are usually pretty packed with dinners or things like that, and stuff. But I had this one where everyone was kind of splitting and going to the airport at different times, and I had a few hours to kill, and I didn't want to fight Denver traffic in Colorado, so I looked up a game store, which I like to do sometimes, and I found this guy. I don't even remember what it was called, but they had a little indie RPG section. And so I'm like, all right, sweet. Let's look at these little like print off things. And I found this one. Let me share my screen here. And we're going to play this. We're not going to talk too much about it because we're going to get right into it. But it's called I Bury the Gods.
Oh, nice.
It's like $13. I love this thing, right? Pay 4 interest-free installments. Oh, over 50. Okay, right. But anyways, $13, right? Print and PDF format. It's literally just, a little pamphlet, right? A little pamphlet.
Kind
And
of
I
like
thought
Mothership almost, right?
smaller than that, dude.
Wow.
Even
Okay.
smaller. Yeah. In fact, the art in this, well, I think let me see. Here we go. The art is just a picture of him with his minis on the tabletop.
Nice.
Yeah, right. So, it was $13. So I'm like, hey, all right, sweet. And the thing that brought me that kind of sold me on it was it's a super rules light game. I think it's based off of Michael Chumak. Apologize if I said his name wrong. He made this in 2022. The other thing that's cool about it is it's Creative Commons attribution, which
Oh, nice.
means you can do whatever you want with this rule set. You just have to say, hey, it came from this guy, right? It started from this guy. Do whatever you want, right? That's Creative Commons attribution is like one, besides saying no license at all, it's one of the easiest license to play with.
Yeah.
In there. But I think it's based off of yeah, I don't know how to say it, but let's see if we can find it here for you right here. Maybe you can pronounce that. Abenturspiel.
Adventure.
I think is that German?
Which is like a news adventure.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spiel is like news.
Okay.
So
yeah, so I think it's based off of that, and he hacked it into kind of a fantasy setting, but super rules like so simple that we're gonna play it right now. You've never even looked at it. You don't even have the book. I have the book.
Yep.
And we're gonna play. It's one of those kind of like Mothership. There are tables, so I'll show you an example here where you roll the die. You roll the dice, and then you just pick the thing on the table. And that's how you roll your character up too. There's spells and skills. And the thing that I love about it being rules light is you can get the spell. Let's say conjure flames. Right? There's no description of conjure flames. There's no mechanics behind conjure flames. It's
nice.
just the spell conjure flames. You tell me how it works when you cast it.
That's awesome.
So it's really just it's here to help you play a role playing game.
Yeah.
And I played, and you can play it with the DM for sure. Someone could be the DM and kind of guide it, but you absolutely don't need it based on how the rules are. It's one of those systems where only the players roll the dice anyways.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So
he like the DM's just kind of like looking up tables and seeing results type of thing.
Yeah. So you can do that yourself, right?
Yeah.
Hell Knight's like that too. The DM never rolls the dice in Hell Knight. It's always the players. To its credit, Numenera, I think, is also like that. The system that Numenera is based off of.
Yeah, the Cypher system.
Yeah, the Cypher system. So those are good systems because they open the door to not having to have a GM if you work it right. So, anyways, so I thought we would just crack this thing open and make up some characters real quick, and then just play maybe a quick session.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So I'm gonna read the intro that sets the stage, which is just a tiny little intro paragraph.
Okay.
And probably mispronounce 5 or 7 words.
What, Jason? Mispronouncing words?
Mispronouncing words. So here we go. All right. So do you say Duchy or Duchy?
Duchy.
Duchy, we're starting off great. Yeah. You come from the Grand Duchy of Zagora. Once one of the Batrian. Well, you freaking put these consonants in the wrong places. Batrian's empire's furthest, I'm going to say Batarian, even though it's not how it's spelled. Batarian Empire's farthest provinces. Imperial soldiers would use bodies of criminals to trap the gods of your people. Once a god took root in its host, the criminal was executed, bringing it into the resident spirit. So that's interesting, right? Those people's gods are like spirits that would come into their bodies.
Yeah.
And then once they came in the body, then they would execute the body to kill the spirit. So that's interesting. It says you were one such host. An ancient nature spirit shared your body and lent you the power of its magic.
Okay.
Days before your execution, the Zagorian governor received a missive from the empress. Every one of her legions were to return to the imperial capital. The legionnaires left, the governor fled. A fellow Zagoran freed you from captivity. The spirit within you compels you to reclaim your homeland and rebuild its sacred places now. It whispers to you of a darkness that has swallowed the empire and will soon turn its eyes to Zagora.
Okay.
That's the background. So that's it. That's all the background is.
Okay, so we were about to be executed. We have the spirit of a god inside of us. We're like the host.
Yep.
And they were like, "Okay, well, time to head out for whatever reason." And you just know that there's a darkness spreading over the land, and you got to protect your homeland. And kind of reclaim and furnish or like refurbish some of the holy places, right?
Yep.
Okay, got it.
Yep. All right, so I added a little dice cam here so we can roll the dice. This is fun, right? This is a low budget dice cam. I just literally have another webcam pointing at a little box on my table.
Nice.
Let's do it. So the first thing we do is there's an emerging threat. Choose or roll to determine the cause of the Batarian Empire's downfall. So the Empire called back her legionnaires because something went wrong.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. So I'm gonna roll a dice. Here we go.
Yep.
2.
Oh, I got a tabletop and beyond 6.
6? Okay.
Yes, as you can see, these are our exclusive Patreon.
Well, dude, let's go with yours then, because I think yours is going to be more fun anyways. All right, so it says 6. Demon-possessed undead have turned on their imperial masters. More dead rise to join their ranks each day.
Okay, I want to point something out. Demon-possessed undead rise up against their masters. Who thought that it would be a good idea to keep demon-possessed undead slaves around?
I know.
I mean,
so
just a little bit of thought may have said, this might go badly one day for us.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting, right? Because we come from a people whose gods can possess us.
Yes.
And it sounds like whatever the Empire was doing, they were experimenting with that, and they were pulling they were using undead bodies as hosts to bring demons in.
Oh, okay.
Right? Rather than using a living host and having a demon possess a living host, the demons are possessing undead hosts.
And now they're shaking off the shackles of slavery and turning on their former masters.
All right, so that's the setting right there.
Okay.
Right?
All right, got it.
And remember, we're not in the imperial capital. We're in like the Grand Duchy of Zagoria.
This is okay, that's fine. So we're technically part of the Empire. We're just not at the heart of it.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, got it.
But I would get the impression that we're in like an oppressed part of it because I mean they're freaking executing people in this duchy, right? Yeah. All right, so let's roll up some characters. So there are 9 steps to rolling up a character. So get your paper ready.
Pen and paper ready.
Pen and paper ready. All right, here we go. The first one is your drive. What motivates your character's actions?
Okay, so first off, my character's name is Paco.
Hey, you don't want to roll for the name? There's a name.
Oh, is there a name section in there? Oh, never mind. I mean, his nickname will be Paco. Let's find out what his real name is there. All right, what's my drive?
All right, your drive. So roll a d6.
I rolled a 1.
Okay, I rolled a 4. All right, a 1. Your drive is faith.
Oh, okay. I like
faith is your drive.
Yes.
All right, my drive, what I get a 4, is power. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, hardcore, buddy.
Yeah, man. All right, next up.
I'm just going to be the eternal optimist here.
All right. So that's your drive. That's what motivates you. So if you're looking for role play stuff, always go back to that as to what's going to drive your decisions. All right, domains of magic. What kind of magic is the spirit that's in us? Gives us power to possess. Okay, so this one you're going to just roll a d6 again.
Yep. So I got a 4.
Okay, you got a 4. So a 4 is nature.
Oh, nice.
Mine, I got a 5, is pyromancy.
Okay.
All right.
So you are a dude. You are a firebender. You're the tribes of fire.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. We're gonna see where this goes. All right. So your nature faith. Yep. I'm pyromancy power. All right. Spells. What magical spells can your character perform? All right. This is how you do spells. You turn to the spells page and choose to roll or determine one spell associated with each of your characters' 3 domains of magic.
Oh,
we get 3 domains of magic. All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Roll 2 more.
Okay, I got a 5.
Okay, so pyromancy for you too.
Nice, and a 1.
And a 1, astral.
Nice.
All right. I already have 5. So
I really like the sun. This flaming ball in the sky that's part of nature.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going to basically be like one of those sun priests. I'm a sun priest.
Oh, you're gonna love this. All right, so pyromancy was my first, right? Well, let's say that the first one we rolled is our like primary.
Okay, cool.
All right, cool. And then I got thaumaturgy.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. All right. And then glamour.
Wow. This girl is on fire.
Hey, well done. All right. Yeah. All right. So now we do spells. Okay. So turn to the spells page. Choose a roll to determine one spell with each of your 3 domain of magic. All right. So let's go to the spells page.
3 dice, right?
So it's one of these kind of things, right? Like a table.
Oh, I like it. Okay.
Table right here, right?
So do we have to roll table first and then spell? Oh no, it's the domain is each table.
Yep. So grab 2 dice, one that are different colors, and have one of them be the Oh wait, no, we already know our things. So roll 1d6 for your first one.
All right. So for nature, I rolled a 2.
All right. So nature 2, you have the spell compel beasts.
Nice. I use that too. Great effect in Frostgrave.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh my gosh, very powerful. For my pyromancy, I got read ashes.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like I can I can come to the aftermath and determine what happened and what caused it.
I like it.
Yeah,
you're like a fire. You're like the dude in Backdraft that's like investigating arsons.
Yeah, except you're investigating the ones that you caused. I guess that's a spoiler there, but whatever. That movie's like 30 years old.
That's right.
All right. All right. Do your next one.
All right. I did a 2 for pyromancy.
Endure heat.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yep, makes sense. I got a 6 for thaumaturgy, which is neutralize magic. All right, I like that.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Spells. Neutralize. All right, go ahead and roll your next one.
All right, for astral, I got a 6.
Astral 6. Traverse wall.
Nice.
Yep. I got a 2 for glamour. Let's see what this is. Charm person makes sense to me.
Very nice.
Yep. Charm person makes sense to me.
They're like, I started the fire.
That's right. Do you want to? Oh man, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's see here. Background. All right, so what was your character's role in society before imprisonment? All right.
Oh, I like this.
All right, roll a d6.
A 1.
You were a consul.
Oh wow, I was a big deal.
Oh, I got a 1 too. We were both consuls.
Both consuls. Co-consuls.
Go consuls.
We ruled this place probably pretty well until the Empire came.
Oh yeah, dude, totally. We've been working together for years.
Years.
Yeah, years. Yeah, yeah. All right. What's next? Skills. All right. Turn to the skills page, another table, and choose a role to determine 3 skills associated with your character's background. All right. So, since we're both consuls, just go ahead and roll 3d6, and if any of them are the same, just re-roll it.
Okay. I got a 1, a 3, and a 6.
Okay. 1, command.
Nice.
That's a skill for you.
Okay.
A 3.
Yep.
Hunting.
Oh, okay.
And then a 6. Vice.
Okay.
What does that mean in terms of a skill?
So I'm like a narco cop? Like Miami Vice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right.
All right.
All right. What did I get? I got a 3 hunting, so I got hunting as well.
Nice.
I got 5 performance.
You're
okay, makes sense with my glamour, my charm person. I am very flashy. I was the front man here. You know, let's romance the room.
Yeah.
I'd come into. I would romance the room.
That's right.
And then you come in the back, right? And
I'd command everybody.
Speaking of which, guess who also got Vice?
I think Vice means that we're into bad stuff.
I was gonna say, I think we were probably working some backdoor gig, you and me,
right?
Some corruption maybe in the console there.
Exactly. Like we allowed gambling to happen in the basement, right?
Yeah. We'd be like, "Good sir, thank you for visiting our duchy. Now, if you wouldn't mind, we'll let you into the back room if you pay the,
You'd go roll some craps and it wouldn't go very well. And next thing I know, you're reading the ashes about like, hey, what happened down here?
Yeah. Ooh. What happened with this place? All right. So we got skills. Interesting. All right. Next up is equipment. All right. Let's do equipment. So equipment. Turn to the equipment page, choose a role to determine 1 weapon and 2 tools. All right, so we're going to have 1 weapon and we're going to have 2 tools.
I did my Caleb toss, where you flick it. Flick.
Yeah.
I got a 3 for my weapon.
Your weapon. Okay. Mace.
Nice.
I got a 1. Bardiche.
Okay, that's like one of those like
it's like a pole arm with the blade on the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that how you say it? Bardiche?
Yep, it is.
Bardiche. Wow.
You did it, Jason.
I did it. All right, and then 2 tools. So this is where you're gonna roll. By the way, your weapons are considered exotic or expensive.
Okay. All right. You have to choose either one, or
it's just the category.
Oh, okay.
It's exotic / expensive is the category.
Got it.
Tools are considered rare / valuable.
Mm-hmm.
So tools roll 2d6, one of them being a different color, so and denote one of being the leftmost and the other being the rightmost.
Okay, so my leftmost one is a 1, and my rightmost one is a 2.
All right, so your first tool is boiled leathers.
Okay.
My first tool is, what did I get, 2, 3? Fine wine, of course. How else would you charm the individuals, and romance the room with fine wine?
Of course.
Of course, it might be bootleg wine considering the way we've been doing things, but that's all right. Your next one.
Do I roll 2D? No.
Same thing. Just same thing, left and right.
A 2.
2 for your left one, and then your right one.
Oh no, it was 1 for my left one, and then 2 for my right one.
Yeah, so you roll 2d6. Give me 1 for the leftmost digit and 1 for the rightmost.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. 2, 2.
2, 2. A crowbar.
Nice.
It's for
so
those.
Maybe my vice is stealing things.
Yeah, man. All right, I got a 66. Let's see what that is. The whistle.
Execute.
Awesome.
Execute order 66.
I got a whistle. Fine wine and a whistle.
You know, when you drink a lot, you like that slide whistle.
Yeah. Yeah. Dinner time. Woo, 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 woo. I'm like timing
that better
it perfectly.
make it in the adventure, by the way.
Yeah. I'm timing it perfectly. You'll say something in the console that's like super, like, important, and I'll be like, woo, like, I'll be like, what was that? All right, that's tools. What's after equipment? Sorry. Oh, wait. Also, all right. Roll 2d6 and add the results. That's how much silver coin you start the game with.
I have 7 silver coins.
I have 8. 8 silver coin.
Okay.
All right. The way that things cost money in this game, very simple. 10 coppers is 1 silver. 10 silvers is 1 gold.
Okay.
If you ever want to buy something in the game, you determine if it's a common or cheap item, a rare or valuable item, or an exotic or expensive item. Then you roll 1d6, and that's how many it will cost. So if I used a common or cheap item, it would be 6 copper coins.
Gotcha. Okay.
If it was a rare or valuable, in this case, it would be 6 silver, and then exotic or expensive would be 6 gold.
Yeah.
So something like, I want to buy a room in the inn tonight. That's probably copper because it's common. Yeah. So it'd be 2 copper coins in that town. Nice. Or if I wanted to buy a new saber in the weapons shop, that's a exotic expensive. Yeah. It's going to be 5 gold coins.
You know what's awesome? What you could do with this? So you just rolled 5 gold coins, right? You could say, I want to try to haggle to get a better price and let them re-roll. It could be better or it could be worse, right? So you're just you get a re-roll if you haggle, So
yeah,
but you could totally work that mechanic in if you wanted to.
Totally. All right, so that was equipment. All right, let's see what's the next thing. Health and spirit. All right, you set your initial health and your initial spirit to 3.
Okay.
Okay, so health 3, spirit 3. All right.
Got it.
Now we do the name.
Yes.
All right, so same thing. You have a leftmost digit and a rightmost digit.
41.
41. Eric, E-R-E-K. What did I get? I got a.
So I'm gonna go introduce myself all the time as, hi, I'm Eric with a K.
That's right. I got Anya. I guess I am a girl.
Oh, okay.
I'll take being a girl here. All right, and then I'm gonna roll another one for maybe a last name.
Oh.
55.
What a last name.
Olta. Anya Olta.
I'm at 36.
36 is Osha. O-S-H-A. Yes, you're Eric Osha. Also known as, what did you say, Pedro?
Paco. Paco's my middle name.
Right. Eric with a K, but you can call me Paco.
That's right. So you're Anya what?
Anya Olta.
Anya Olta and Osha.
Yep. Hey, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Let's see. That is rolling a character. So real quick, why don't you give us a review of your character?
All right. So Eric with a K, Eric Osha. He is very motivated by his faith. Like, it is a primary driver in his life. He loves being a part of nature, but the flame of pyromancy just fuels his faith, right? Like, it's just like burning inside of him. And he's also very interested in the mysticism of the astral plane. So, those 3 combined, like, he enjoys spending time outdoors, camping because there's a fire. And then, just kind of studying the spirit realm as well. Well, as he spent time in the woods, he learned how to compel beasts. Sometimes he would roll into the fire in the middle of the night, so he would learn his endure heat spell. And sometimes the compel beast spell didn't work so well, so he needed to use traverse wall to get out of a sticky situation. So those three things have really propelled him, and so much so that he ended up becoming co-consul of the duchy here. And he learned to use his commanding presence. He loves to hunt, again, being outdoors, right? But he's got a little bit of a dark side. He has some vices, right? He may allow some things that maybe aren't on the up and up. He's famous for going hunting with his favorite mace and boiled leathers that he's wearing. But people have noticed he likes to pack his crowbar, probably for some of that vice. He's got some money. He comes from some wealth with the silver coins he has, and he's a very healthy and spirited person with 3-point hit points, or 3 points there in each. That's Eric with a K.
Nice, Eric with a K. Eric with a K. So it's funny, Anya Ulta. Isn't Ulta the name of like a company that sells like makeup products and stuff?
Yes.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
Perfect. All right, so Anya Ulta, right? So Anya Ulta, she grew up, in a pretty probably uppity up family, right? She probably has some pretty good looks, and she spent kind of her days growing up learning how to take advantage of that to move up in life here and there, right? And she developed the ability to charm people to get what she wanted. She found she had a knack for doing that, so much that as she got older, she learned to, use her family's vineyard to gather wine and entertain with her beautiful, unique slide whistle blowing, right?
That drew everybody in.
Everyone, yes. Every night, every Tuesday night at the Ulta family, right?
Come for the wine, stay for the slide whistle.
Stay for the slide whistle. Yep, that's right. And over time, has been able to, we'll say, rise up so much that she started to get a taste for that power and being able to kind of control the things around her with her charm, such that she moved herself into the position of co-consul,
right
there in the duchy. And on the side has been using probably a little bit of kickbacks here and there to form up a makeup business on the side that she's been selling to the settlements around for helping people to really catch on to that glamour. She's really been taking advantage of that beauty culture.
When you're co-consul, a little off the top isn't that big of a deal, right?
No, of course. and then of course over time has I guess developed the ability to use a pole arm.
She needs protection, I imagine.
Yeah, I guess. Well, maybe that pole arm was used for other things initially, and eventually
if I plant this in the ground really hard,
really hard. Yeah. All right, sweet. Okay, so cool. So we got our characters. So real quick, how you play the game, right? So let me go over here. Real simple, right? So you have dice pools, all right? So you have health of 3, spirit of 3. All right. When you play the game, you have a what you call as your dice pool, right? One dice is a stress dice. Okay. When you want to do something, you will roll 1 dice from your pool if for every one of these things that is true. 1, your drive motivates your action. So if I'm doing something that has to do with me gathering power, I could use a dice, right? Nice. If I'm applying one of my skills that we rolled, right? If I'm taking advantage because of equipment I have, someone is giving me assistance, or there's just some other significant advantage. So that's 5 dice that you could potentially throw into your pool, right?
Nice.
The other thing is if you are doing something that is risky, then you use what is called the stress dice, right? So that's why you have 1 different colored dice. So you could actually roll 6 dice if you were doing something that was risky, right? If you get a 6 on any of those dice, it's considered a strong hit. Strong hit means you achieve the desired outcome. You're good, no problem, controlled.
Yeah.
If you get a 4 or 5, you get what's called a weak hit, which means you get the desired outcome, but you have to pay the price because you didn't quite control the situation. 1, 2, or 3 means you miss and you pay the price and you don't get the outcome that you wanted. Paying the price can be as simple, and you can decide what it is, can be as simple as taking if you're fighting, you would take a health 1 hit point, for one point away from your health. If you were doing something that would cause emotional despair, you could take 1 away from your spirit, or like a willpower thing. Maybe if you're used to that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
You could lose a piece of gear if you were trying to do something and you failed. Maybe the gear breaks, or something. So it doesn't always have to be hit points or spirit. And then there can be price and fiction too, like something happens in the outcome of a story. So you can kind of choose. You choose based on the result of your dice. With health and spirit, if there's some reason in the scenario that you could avoid taking the harm, you can do something called a test your luck. You roll a dice. On a 1, 2, or 3, you still take the damage. On a 4, 5, and 6, you avoid it. Same with the spirit.
This feels a little bit like the Euro Zero engine from Free League Press.
Free League, a little bit, yeah. Although right, because 6s are successes. You're adding dice to your pool based on the things around you.
You got to stress dice, right?
You got to stress dice.
Yeah.
So the way what makes this a little bit different is the way the stress die work. Let's say I can get 3 things. There, maybe it's my motivations. I can use a skill, and I got a piece of gear that's helping me. Right. If it's a risky situation, I got to put that stress die in. Okay. So then I would roll my dice. All right. I didn't get a 6, but I did get 2 5s, right? Which means I got a weak hit. So I got what I wanted, but I got to pay the price, and I'll have to figure out what that means story-wise.
Yeah.
If your stress dice ever equals or exceeds one of your highest value of your normal dice pool, you lose a dice from your dice pool.
Oh no.
That means for the rest of the time I'm playing, I only have 4 dice in my dice pool. So over time, you can start to lose dice from your dice pool. But even if I meet 3 or 4 of the things in that list, I may only have 1 dice to add to the dice pool.
Yeah. So right now, our dice pool is 5 dice plus 1 stress dice. And then we get to add from our pool to what we roll, depending on like if you're doing it according to your faith, if you're getting assistance, like those types of things that would add it. But the fact is that our pool is 5 plus 1 right now, right?
Yeah, it's 5 plus 1.
Yeah.
And so there are a couple conditions. One, you can lose dice when you roll stress. Your stress die can eat your other dice, if you want to think of it that way. When your health gets down to 0, then you become wounded. If you're wounded, your maximum dice pool is limited by 1 as well. So now you only have if you're wounded or broken means your spirit has come to 0. So wounded, health, broken, spirit. If you're wounded or you're broken, your dice pool cannot exceed 5 dice. That includes your stress dice. So you're going to have to automatically just slide 1 away, right?
Yep.
If you're both wounded and broken, you can't exceed 4 dice.
Oof.
Okay, so those are reasons you would also lose dice.
Yep.
Your stress dice is always the last dice you get rid of. So it's always going to be there to hurt you along the way. And if you lose all of your dice, you can't do risky things. You just can't do something that's risky, right? So you don't actually die in the game.
Yeah.
Unless you want to die. Like the game doesn't really have a mechanism for killing you. It just has a mechanism for making you wounded and broken. And then you can recover from being wounded and broken by going back to your community and spending a week in your community. So at us, our community was console, right? So we would have to go back to our Grand Duchy, and we would have to kind of just like commune with our normal like gang for like a week. Yeah. And so that's pretty much it, right? So, any questions on the mechanics?
No, I don't have any questions. I think it makes a lot of sense.
And that's it. That is the game. You roll your character up just like we did. We've got magic, we got spells, we got background, we got skills, we got a weapon and some tools. We know how to buy stuff, what the cost is going to be, and we know how to roll. And the player does all the rolls based on what they want to do, and the player suffers the damage of their own roll. So you can play this game without a DM, and we're gonna do a quick session without a DM.
Let's do it.
All right. So we know the setting. The Empire called back all of their legionnaires. Our spirit told us something bad has happened. We as players don't know that it's the demon undead.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Outside, we know the setting. That's the problem. So we'll have to role play that in. Right?
Okay.
So now what we can do is we can go to this table called the action and matter table.
Oh, okay.
And this is where we got to get creative, right? So let's create. Let's do this. Let's create. We know our settlement. We're in the Duchy of Zagora, right? So let's create a name for our actual like town that we're in. So you roll one, roll 2d6. So same thing, a left and the rightmost.
I rolled a 62.
Okay, 62. So the town we're in, the prefix of the town, 62, is sword. And roll it again and tell me what you get.
I got a 23.
23. And the suffix is brook. So Swordbrook is the name of the town we're in. So
it's been a fine home for us.
Fine home. Very fine. The vineyard's off to the west. All right, let's see. So I rolled a 45 pine, and rolled again. 55. 55 watch. So Pine Watch.
Okay.
Pine Watch is the neighboring town.
Wait, sorry. What was mine again? Mine was Sword Barrel?
Swordbrook.
Swordbrook.
And Pine Watch is the neighboring town on the way to the Empire. It's the next town on the way to the Empire. That's how we're going to play it, okay?
Got it.
All right, so now what we're going to do, our spirit is driving us to the Empire to try to solve the problem, right? It says something bad is about to happen. It's gonna destroy the duchy unless we take care of it. So we know we've got to go. We got to go there and figure out what's going. And we got to get on the road to make our way to Pine Watch. Well, we're gonna roll this action and matter table to see what we're gonna have to deal with on the way there. So I'll roll the action, you roll the matter. So roll us 2d6. Oh, 66 again.
63.
63. All right. So weaken and time. Interesting. So the action is weaken. Something is weakening. The matter, the thing that it's dealing with, is time. Something is weakening time around us.
Oh,
it's like we can feel like maybe we're, as we're heading down the road to Pine Watch, we can feel, time slipping away from us.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe like it feels like it's going slower, then all of a sudden speeds up or something like that, right? Like it's not the gears are sort of slipping, the gears of time maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
So we're getting probably pretty disoriented.
Yeah.
Having a hard time like knowing where we're going. So let's roll another one.
What time it is? Like we obviously don't know what time it is.
I know. It's very curious. So let's roll another one. So this time you roll the action, I'll roll the matter.
Okay, I got a 23.
23. So the action is defend. Okay, so we're probably going to do some fighting here. Defend, and I rolled a 63, which is time again. Defend time. Interesting.
Okay, so what is happening is there is a famous inn that is between Swordbrook and Pine Watch. Okay. And at this inn, there is a clock with that's attached to church bells, right?
Yes.
And everybody uses that as the time around the area. And people have felt a little off recently. Mm-hmm. And they've noticed that the hands of the clock are acting very weirdly. Like sometimes they spin super fast and then they rewind and then go slow, and nobody can tell what time it is anymore. It's just very strange.
Yeah. So I think you and I are going to get to this in we're after we have some dialogues with people, we realize how weird this is. We notice the clock hands as well and how weird it is, and we're like, in fact, this should have only taken us a couple hours to get here, and now it's almost dark.
Right.
And we're like, what is
we were planning to have lunch, and it's dinner time.
Now it's dinner time. So, I think, gosh, for some reason we even feel tired.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah.
So
it's feeling it's really draining on me, and it's kind of messing with my sense of nature.
Yeah.
Of kind of what's happening here.
Right.
But I believe I have faith, Jason, that nature will prevail in this situation. that we will be able to restore nature to its proper balance and time to its proper balance.
Yes. Oh, out of character, real quick. One thing I forgot to tell you: magic is not something that's super common here. So when you cast a spell, you have to spend a spirit.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and you can rest to recover health, and you can rest to recover your spirit.
Yeah.
So you can't just cast all day, right? That's
Okay.
that's the point there. Yeah. So their spell casting costs a little bit from you. All right. So
that's good.
Yeah. So you're feeling like nature is gonna pull through here, right?
I mean, it always does, right? Nature finds a way.
Yeah.
Right.
And
that was my Jurassic Park reference, by the way.
There you go. It finds a way. It finds a way. And I'm remembering that, years ago, my family, as they were expanding their vineyard, they actually tried to buy this in from the innkeeper, but he wouldn't budge. So now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, man, I wonder if we're glad we didn't get this, or is there an opportunity here to maybe move in now that things are getting weird? So I think we should spend the night and see what's going on.
100%. So, I go in, since I'm Eric with a K, right?
Eric with a K.
I know we're co-consuls. We're probably pretty well known in the land at this point.
Yeah.
But listen, I like you, Anya, but I'm gonna get my own room, okay?
Okay.
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
It's how we do it.
Yeah. So I go to the innkeeper, and listen, we've been to this inn before, right? This is pretty commonplace. We know the innkeeper. He looks really old to me. He looks strangely old to me. Like I think that it's a little out of place. Like this is kind of freaking me out a little bit. But I kind of brushed that thought aside. Like, well, maybe he just is getting old and I haven't been here in a while, because I'm too busy running my gambling parlor downstairs, and I mean, there's things like that. So I'm gonna ask for a room. This is a common room, right?
Sure.
So I am going to pay 5 copper.
Yep.
For my
5
room.
copper. Ooh, you got it.
Yeah, I got the deluxe version.
Yeah. So I actually had I had installed some of my Ulta product here in this inn. Yeah.
That's good.
So I kind of go up to the innkeeper and I'm like, hey, I assume that my product will cover, the earnings on my product will cover my room while I'm here, right? And I think he probably looks at me and says, your product's been long gone. We haven't had a shipment from your product forever. And this is really concerning to me. Now I'm starting to get mad and thinking that, my market trade lines, my trade routes aren't working. But then I start to know the same thing you do. Like, this guy looks really old, and he's looking at me really funny too. Like, we haven't heard from you guys and your family for ages. Like, I used to work with your mom, back in the day. I assume your mom, because you look a lot like her. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? So
yeah, I let out a low whistle.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna get a room too. So that's only gonna cost me two.
Well, you get the friends and family discount.
I get
apparently.
the friends and family discount. But let's roll and see. Something sinister's going on. I'll say that we kind of burrowed down for the night, but let's see if we can figure out something that's going on here. So let's roll. There's a monstrosity table.
Okay. Oh, cool. Okay.
But before we roll that monstrosity table, let's roll again on the action and matter table here.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I got a 32. What'd you get?
I got a 26.
Okay, so 32 is destroy.
Okay.
And a 26 is family. Destroy.
Oh my gosh. We have to kill the innkeeper's family?
That's not where I went with that, but okay. All right, let's roll in the monstrosity. So roll 2d6 for me.
Okay. Oh, is it the same deal?
Left and right. Left and right.
I got a 23.
23. Beetle.
Oh,
that's the shape. The shape of whatever this evil is that's here is going to manifest itself as a beetle. Now I'm going to roll its trait. 4. Its trait is rotting.
Oh my gosh, this fits so well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
And then give me one more D6 for its ability.
All right, its ability 4.
Shape-shifting.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Yeah,
This
I know,
is
right?
amazing. All right, so
we have a
our
rotting
characters don't.
shape-shifting beetle.
So our characters don't know this, but
No.
But the mother of the innkeeper was failing health, and a this evil monstrosity of a beetle snuck into their room and ended up like crawling into her brain and killing her, and then shapeshifted into her body.
Yes.
But it's this monstrosity that's affecting time, because it's like, like root of decay and slow death, and it's messing with it, and nobody knows like what's happening, right? Like, but this grandma is like up in her attic, like affecting it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna say partway through the night,
Mm-hmm.
I start to hear something creeping, or I'll say almost skittering down the hall, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
this smell, this like decay,
Ooh.
nasty like smell of like, meat when it's gone bad, is just wafting in under the door into my room. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, right? And I'm like banging on the wall next to you. I'm like, dude, like, wait, Eric with a K, wake up. Do you smell that?
And I'm
like,
like,
what did you eat?
Oh, Anya, this is the worst thing I've ever smelled. I haven't smelled this since we accidentally left that deer carcass in our uncle's like hunting lodge. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Is your uncle's hunting lodge?
Yes, my
at the
uncle's
vineyard.
Remember, my uncle's hunting
Yeah.
lodge.
I mean, he was like an uncle to me, but we left that deer carcass in there, and then we went in the next summer, and it was bad. Remember the trouble that we got into?
Yeah. And then I'm like, and then the skittering out there, right? So now I'm like, what is going on, right? So I get up and I get to the door, and the skittering, like, it goes by the door, and then it goes away from the door. So I'm gonna crack open that door.
Okay.
And I'm gonna look, and to me, it looks like I see an old lady holding like, an oil lamp.
Yeah.
That turns the corner down the hall, and then the hall, the light from the oil lamp follows the shadows down the corner.
As soon as she turns the corner, I kind of put my head out, and I'm like, that reeks. Like, what is happening?
Yeah. So obviously, I'm thinking that I probably got some product I can sell for this poor lady.
I mean, she's probably got really bad gas.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's stuff for this, right? So I reach in my, my purse and my bag, and I get my my fine wine. I'm going down the hall trying to get her attention with my slide whistle, right? So I'm like, woo, 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 come back, old lady, woo.
Yeah. I mean, I've got my crowbar with me. I'm kind of tapping the wall like, teet, 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 like, hey, cuckoo, toot, 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 toot,
If this was a real lady, she'd be like running down the hall away from us, right? But all right, so and I think what's going to happen is we're going to turn the corner. We're going to turn the corner, and we're going to see this. What looked like an old lady is actually like a rotting corpse.
Oh, yeah.
Rotting corpse. And no one else can see it but us.
So I'm going to paint a picture for you here. This is just like Men in Black with the bug in the exterminator skin suit.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So the bug is inside of it like...
Sugar water.
I need some sugar water.
Sugar water. Yeah. Yeah.
I need some sugar water.
Totally. And by like the end of the movie, he's just like bloating,
Yeah, like it's like
rigor mortis. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's the kind of grandma that we see here, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, man. Yeah. So I'm like, at this point, I'm like freak out. I'm like, oh my gosh, right? And I'm gonna even recognize her as the innkeeper's what do we say? His wife? His mother. Okay. Yep. So yeah, his mother. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like what the crap is gonna happen, right?
I look at you and I go, your product did this?
I said, not the mine? No. Right? Oh my gosh, right. Yeah. So I'm thinking that something really bad is going on here. This is feeling really, really weird. So I'm running back to my room, and I'm running back to my room. I'm gonna shut that door and lock it.
I mean, I just saw you run back, and I look at the old lady again, and I just do one of those like pause and then like turn and run too, right? Like,
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm out of here too.
Yeah, and you can hear the skittering starts to speed up and is chasing after you.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, I totally freak out. And I
You
run
like
into my
screaming in a high
room.
pitched voice.
Yeah.
Anya!
I run into my room and I jam the crowbar under the door so it can't be opened from the
Oh,
outside.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right. Okay, so how are we gonna get out of the situation? We're both barred in our rooms. There's this skittering nastiness out in front of us in the hallway. Right? How are we gonna get out of this situation?
Okay, well, I mean, time is weird right now, okay?
That's true.
So we like went to bed and then we kind of did this thing and now we look out the window and it's dawn. Like it's
Oh,
only been
yeah.
like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Totally weird. Okay, so there's a window.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the sheet off my bed. Right. I'm gonna try to tie it to the thing. I'm gonna try to make climb out the window with it. So
Okay.
let's see here what that would be. So I'm gonna say this is not part of my drive. So because this is obviously not power. This is me trying to get out of Dodge. Right.
Yeah.
Skills, hunting, and performance. I'm gonna say that I can throw a skill in there with my hunting and performance. I've had to tie ropes and climb trees and that kind of stuff before to get to the hunter's box. Let's see. I'm gonna say, can I add another dice in here? I don't think I can add another dice, so I'm gonna roll my stress dice here to try to get out of this situation. Oh no, didn't work.
Oh no.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that rope. I try to tie that thing around the bedpost, right? And the minute I lean back, that thing snaps and I fall, 2 stories down. And I'm gonna take a health for that. Pay the price on that.
I watch you do this because I hear you making a ruckus, right? So I hear you do this, and I see you fall, and I'm like, well, I'm not doing that. That's a really bad idea. And I look out, and I see that there's like a little piss boy. He's basically has collected everybody's urine in the
Oh
in
yeah,
the
he's got
pots.
the pots.
Yeah, the piss pots, right? So he's out kind of doing it, and I see him, and I say, "Boy, you there! Fetch me a ladder. I require to descend this window." And so I am going to roll for that and use my command ability.
Okay, there you go.
To do it, right? So I roll nice. I roll a what is it? A lesser success? What is it called?
A weak hit.
I do a weak hit. I got a 5, but a 1 on the stress dice. So he's like,
what did you get on the stress dice?
A 1.
Okay, what did you get on your normal dice?
5.
5. Okay, so the stress doesn't do anything because it has to equal but yeah. All right. Cool.
Yep. So I get a weak hit. So the boy, I'm gonna say that he is like okay, right? And he goes to get the ladder and he grabs it and he pulls it over and he puts it up there. The price though that I have to pay, right, of this is that he kind of spilled some of the contents of the pot that he had and like on his hands and he just like grabbed the ladder. So it's like as I'm climbing down, like it's really gross.
It's oily.
Right? Like yeah, it's a little slick and it still beats the smell that's coming from the hallway though.
Yeah.
So
so I think you get down the ladder fine. I get up, I'm like, the wind comes back to me. And I look over at this boy and I notice this boy appears to be decaying as well.
Oh,
and he's got little and I'm looking because he's holding the ladder for it. I'm looking at the back of his head, and I see these almost little larva antennae thing kind of sticking out of the base of his skull.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I'm like, Eric with a K, Eric with a K, Eric with a K, Eric with a K.
Yes, Anya.
Yeah, and I get my
I'm saying that as I'm coming down, right?
Yeah,
yes,
you're
Anya.
like, yes, Anya, yes, Anya. I look at my bar dish, and you're like going down. He's at the bottom of the ladder, looking up at you as you're going down to the ladder to him, right? And I get my bar dish, and I'm like, something's wrong with that kid, right? Something's wrong with that kid,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna at this point
Would
I'm
you
starting.
say that?
I think so. Yeah, I would say
Okay,
it out
so
loud.
as you say that, I stop and I look down, and I also see the decaying look in his face,
Yeah.
and I'm like, like
All
I
right.
start to freak out.
Yeah, I see your face, and so I just take my bar. I'm gonna like swing at this. I'm swinging at this guy, right, or this thing, because now I'm like, we saw just a rotted lady. We heard skittering sounds. This boy looks rotted as well. There's something coming out of the back of his head. I'm like, this place ain't right, right? And it's dawn, or
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
whatever. All
yeah.
right, so obviously there's gonna be a stress die.
Maybe
There's
he
gonna
spilled the contents on purpose. Hmm.
maybe.
Hmm.
Let's see. Man, am I gonna be able to roll anything else here? Hunting. I'm
Hunting.
good with that thing. Yep.
Hmm.
I'm actually using my weapon right
Okay.
there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's probably it. So we're gonna roll those 3 things right there. All right. Oh,
Oh
so this isn't.
no.
So this is good, right? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose this dice because that
Yeah.
stress die hit it. So I lost the dice from my dice pool. But I take that thing and I just bring it right down on that kid and I cleave through that skull, right? And right when I cleave through that skull, and I'm just like screaming because this thing is crazy.
Yeah.
The skull, like, it's like butter, right? Because
Ooh,
this
gross.
thing
Yeah.
is
Okay.
is
Like
this thing
super
has been
soft.
decaying. Yeah,
Hmm.
super soft, good, like, or pumpkin maybe,
Hmm.
and it goes through, and this beetle slices in half and falls out, and I can see the 2 halves of this like nasty, like gooey thing, and it's like wriggling its little legs and stuff.
Yeah.
And then slowly stops and dies. And I'm just staring at this thing like, oh my gosh,
The other
what
thing that we
what is going
see
on?
is that his body all of a sudden decays super fast.
Oh yeah, like
Like, whoosh, like
yes.
he's like a skeleton. Like,
Okay.
you know,
Like, all right, so I'm gonna say it decays into dust,
yeah.
and I'm gonna read the ashes of his remains.
Okay.
Totally gonna read. All right, so here let me figure out how to do the spell casting here so we do it right.
Wait, so did something bad happen other than you lose your dice?
No, because I got a 6.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because I got a 6. So that
Okay.
was like a strong hit. All right, here we go. Spell use. All right. Casting a spell succeeds without having to resolve it as a risky action, but it will take a toll on your character and its effects will be unpredictable. You must pay the price in the following manner. If your character is not broken, which I'm not, reduce spirit by 1. So that's just the cost. All right, so my spirit goes down to 2. If your character is broken, reduce health by 1. Well, I'm not broken, so I just lose the spirit. Test your luck to determine the spell's effect. All right, here we go. We're hoping for a 4 or higher, 4 plus. Nope. If you score 1, 2, or 3, it has the desired effect, but your character loses control of it, and I have to pay the price.
Oh.
So I'm essentially having to pay the price twice now. I had to pay the spirit. All right, so I reach down. This guy drops, and I'm just like, I look at his ashes and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to figure out what's going on. I can do this. I've done this before, right? This looks like ash. It
Yeah.
looks like ash.
Right.
So I'm going to try this. Well,
But
it's
it's
not
dust.
ash. It's
Yes.
not ash. So I'm like moving my fingers around. I'm like, and I'm starting to kind of sense what's going on. I'm like, oh my gosh, this, like, I'm seeing the vision of this like horde of beetles that were out in the forest and towards the Empire, and something happened and like a rift in the earth, and these evil spirits come up and possess these beetles, and they grew to like head size,
Yeah.
right? And they started making their way just out about, and they ran across this whole inn here and just like overcame all of the people in the inn, like all of the people that are in this inn area. But while I'm doing this, I start to realize too late that this is not ash. Like it's corrupted demon dust now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say that I actually am gonna lose another spirit because I start to get this like overwhelming sense of dread as the demon tries to move through the ash into me to possess me. And I'm able to break away at the last minute, but it was draining on me. So I'm barely holding it together mentally now. But I relay this to you that dude, we can't trust anyone in this town at this point.
I pull out my mace and I said, It's squishing time.
It's squishing time. That's right. You know what I'm thinking though? Now I'm thinking, well, I'm pretty sure that we're going to be able to take over this inn for the Ulta family at this point, right? This is when we clear this place out, we got a good deal coming,
Like,
right?
yeah. We could have poker tables in the back, and
yeah. Good stuff. All right, man. So, what do you think happens now? What are we going to do now? It's daytime, so people are probably starting to come out of the inn.
Yeah. Well, I look up, and by the time that you got done reading the ashes, it's like noon. The clock says noon.
We got to
And
get out of
so
here.
we're just like, dude, what is happening here? Right? Like, this is crazy. And as I look up to the tower, I get this idea. I said, okay, that clock seems to be controlling time, or maybe it's controlled by it. But I wonder that if whatever's happening to this little inn is maybe up in that tower. That like maybe it's up there. It's just a hunch. Maybe we need to scout out some things. Like maybe we can track where this boy came from or something. But I feel like something is corrupting this area. I mean, like based on what you told me, right? Like these things are corrupting it. And so there's got to be like maybe a central hive mind or like a repository somewhere, like that.
Yeah.
That's going on. So
do you want to go up in the tower?
I want to go up in the tower.
All right. Well, so I'm gonna say between the tower is maybe a building attached, or around the corner from the inn that you'd have to go past the inn to do it. But people are starting to pour out of the inn now.
Right.
In fact, we see the innkeeper comes out, and the innkeeper and his mom come out, right? And they look like they mean business now. Like the innkeeper's holding a hatchet, maybe.
Oh no. Yeah.
And the mom's got like a torch or something, right? And like they don't look friendly anymore.
I'm also noticing that there is a weird steady stream of people walking between the tower and the inn. Like, why are so many people walking between that clock tower and the inn? And they're kind of coming out of it into the inn.
Into the inn. So from the clock tower into the inn.
From the clock tower into the inn. There's like a steady stream of people. And you're like, why were so many people up in that clock tower? But we see the innkeeper and his mom come out. Like, they're clearly not happy about something.
Okay, I got a good idea.
Okay.
I'm going to cause a distraction for you so you can get into the tower.
I'm
going to go up there and I'm going to do like Pied Piper with my whistle.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. And I've only got one spirit left. But I'm going to try to do a charm person with my whistle and try to pull everyone away, right?
Okay.
Right?
I'm going to go hide. I'm going to use my hunting skill.
Yeah.
To kind of go hide near, like, in a bush.
Yeah.
That I could easily then sneak into the door.
Yeah. Actually, before I try charm person, I'm just going to try to see if I can kite them away with my performance and my whistle.
I like that.
And obviously, I'm going to throw my drive into this now because I'm like, man, this town is mine. Like this, I'm going to get this thing. So, whistle, performance, drive, and I'm still going to throw a stress die in there because this is getting
risky.
bad.
This is super risky.
Super risky. All right, here we go. So, oh
my gosh, not again.
I get what I want. I lose a dice. But I get what I want, so I'm actually only down to I have 3 dice in my dice pool now.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I walk up there and I'm like, right, and I'm like, right, and they're just like, they just like turn like almost like zombies, right? And they're just like, and then I realize, wait a minute, these aren't zombies; they're moving a lot faster. And so I'm like. You just see me just like take off, and then they take off, and they're chasing me now, and I'm just running through this area. So
yeah, what is the innkeeper and the mom doing?
I think they're chasing me too, dude.
But they're angry chasing.
They're angry chasing. Yeah, is that what you said?
The other ones are like curious chasing.
Yeah, curious versus they're like cleaver up, and
Okay.
I don't know how long I'm gonna have to be able to hold this off.
Well, I see that basically you pull sort of what appears to me to be the last person out of the tower. And so I make my way in. Unfortunately, the last person closed the door.
Oh.
And it is it is jammed. It's jammed shut right now.
Crowbar time.
Yeah, I'm pulling out my crowbar and I am going to force this thing open. Now, this goes back to my breaking and entering days, right? With my vice. So I'm adding a dice for that, adding a dice for my crowbar, and throwing in a stress dice because this is risky, right? You're kiting people, and I don't know what's on the other side of this. But I am feeling confident that we can get to the bottom of this, right? So I'm throwing one in for my face. So I got 3 dice plus a stress dice right now.
All right, let's do it.
I get so my stress was a 1. I get a 4 and a 3 and a 2. So the 3 and the 2 don't count. The 1 doesn't count, but I get a minor success. So
Weaker
I crack.
Hit, yep.
Yeah, a weak hit. Thanks. So I crack open the door, but what I don't count on is that there is one more person inside. Okay, so they're there, like waiting, like they're like right, and they weren't there just like by happen chance, like they were there guarding the inside of this tower. So they're there.
All right, what are you gonna do, man?
I think it like they kind of like I think it's time to hit them because with my mace because
all right,
they're coming at me, right? So empowered by my faith, using my mace, I am going to, and I'm gonna add 1 for hunting, right? Because I understand killing blows.
Yep.
So I am going to swing my mace at this thing and put it down like a wild boar. And I get a weak hit. So that do.
Yeah. So he probably, I mean, I would say on an attack action, a weak hit means you're going to take health damage.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I hit it, but I like as I'm swinging, right? Like it's able to kind of like gash my arm with its like, I kind of overswing with the mace, and as it comes down, it gashes my arm. I do hit it pretty good though. I don't know. Is it dead with a weak hit? Like, how does this work?
Weak hit, you still get the desired effect.
Okay.
You just have to pay the price. So you pay. I'm gonna say you smashed that thing, right? You with your mace. Maybe you broke through its entire, a neck, or you broke its neck so that it's not able to work anymore. You take health damage. How about this? But you didn't actually crush its head. So what starts crawling out of the back of it?
Oh yeah. So the beetle crawls out and kind of jumps at me and scratches me up a little bit, right? And kind of starts going for my face, like And I mean, I'm able to get it off, taking damage to my face, get it off, and I boot stomp it, right? Like with the heel. Yeah. But like, gosh dang these things.
I'm picturing the scarabs from the Mummy, the ones that would like crawl into your skin, and like all into your brain.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
all right. So I mean, at this point, I'm not even blowing the whistle anymore. I'm just like, and then I'm just running, right?
I look out and I see you, and I call you. I say, "Come on!"
All right. So then I turn a corner. I do like a Yui right around a fountain, maybe, and I'm just booking it for that door, right? So let's see if I can make it. So stressful situation, hunting. I've had to outrun prey before. Even performance. I'm going to throw performance in there, not power. I'm freaking out.
And I'm assisting you. I'm assisting you here.
Oh, you're assisting me
by holding the door, right?
All right. So I got a 4. The stress did not beat it, so it doesn't go away. But that 4 is a weak hit. So yeah, I'm going to say that I'm running, right? But the last second I trip, right? And I'm just like floundering, and I flounder through that door. I trip and I lose my whistle.
Oh,
I leave my whistle on the outside.
That sucks.
And you slam that door, and my whistle's broke. And I'm like, my whistle! It's like Indy in his hat, right? Like, always go over his hat. It's like, no. But you shut the door, and you're like, it's over, man.
It's done.
Like, it's
I'm
done.
sorry. We'll get you a new one.
And then they just start slamming against the door, right?
Yeah.
And we're like holding the door, maybe, and like we see some wood, and we can pry the door. But while we're like prying the door, I hear someone on the other side going,
oh no!
I'm like, no!
It's been corrupted.
It's corrupted my whistle.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so there's a staircase behind us.
We got to go up. I
We
look
gotta
up
go
there, and there's nothing between us and the top of this stair, the staircase.
Yeah.
But it seems pretty. There's a couple things that are interesting. One, it seems pretty kind of like dark and gloomy, right? Just like there's this like aura, this presence there that just doesn't feel natural, right?
Mm-hmm. It's
And
probably dark again.
It's true. Yeah, it's probably dark again.
Yeah.
The other thing too is I've noticed that the wood is rotting. Like
how
the
much time has
timbers.
passed?
Good question. I mean, time feels really weird inside of this tower. Like
Yeah.
really weird.
Yeah.
So the wood appears to like have some rot on it. Like I don't know that it's enough that it's like breaking, but it's not like fresh timber. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Okay.
So I tell you, I say, look, we're gonna have to be careful as we go up this.
Careful
Anya.
going up the stairs. Yep.
Yeah. We're just gonna have to. We're gonna have to be careful. Keep our eyes open. We don't know what is up in that attic space, like all the way up at the top of the tower.
Yeah. So I think, all right. So we start slowly creeping our way up, carefully, stepping over boards that look bad, and we'll say we're winding up this tower. And as we start to get higher up into the tower, we start to notice, like in the wood, there's carved, like it looks like scratches at first, but then we look and it looks like kind of carved ruins that are actually like kind of glowing a dark shade of like ember, right? Like almost like they're like coals.
Interesting.
Right? Coals, right? And we start to get a smell of sulfur as we're going up.
So I look at that and I say, I wonder. I pull out a little pocket knife and I scratch through the runes, like breaking them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what happens? What do you think happens?
I don't know. Let me. So the idea. I want the smell of sulfur to go away.
Okay.
Okay. I think I'm gonna have to roll for this. I think.
Yeah. Let's see what happens.
Right.
Let's see what happens.
So, my faith is driving me here, right?
Yep.
Like
that makes sense.
I'm like I don't want these like this looks like demon script,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Like no way. Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm using a pocket knife, not my mace. So, or no, you know what? I'm gonna use my crowbar to like as a tool to like scrape.
There you go.
Okay?
There you go.
All right, so I got 2 dice in my pool. This is a risky action, in my opinion, right? Like you don't just carve through people's runes. Okay.
Nope.
All right, here we go. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
All right, the stress happened and I failed miserably.
Oh, so the stress happens, you lose a dice.
Yep.
And you have to pay the price. So,
okay. So
what's going to happen?
So I scrape through that and oh, I know what happens. Okay, here we go. I scrape through that and we're kind of near the top, right?
Yeah.
And I scrape through that. We hear this shrieking that's coming from inside that room, and the door blows open, and just this like infernal heat blasts us, but it's like a magical heat, and so it breaks my spirit a little bit. I end up losing the spirit. Like, I feel just like, oh my gosh, what happened? You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. This is going to be it. So the door breaks open. This infernal heat blows through, breaks your spirit a little bit. Let's see what the shape of this force is that's up here at the top of this thing. So roll 2d6 for us, left and
right. 21.
21. Okay. So the shape is a giant bat. Okay. Maybe it's like a bipedal human bat.
Ooh, cool. Okay.
All right. Let's do the trait. So the trait will be 6, warped.
Oh, yeah.
All
okay.
right.
Which makes sense with time, right?
Yeah. Warped with time and yep. Okay. So it's like maybe we can't even like see it. Like it looks kind of like a bat, like it's got like wings, but it's like you can't even look at it because it's like, like my hands in the camera right now, right?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and roll us one more.
Okay.
This is its ability. 2. Echolocation is its ability. Perfect. Yeah. So this thing, like, it's like shaking. We can't even look at it. We notice it doesn't even have eyes, but it's just like calling out. You can feel this like kind of subconscious shrill hitting us periodically, like bouncing off of us.
Yeah.
Right. And it steps out of the doorway and is moving down the stairs towards us right now.
So I think I'm starting to piece this together, right?
I thought you said pee. I think I'm starting to
pee. So this demonic presence came in the form of beetles, right?
Yeah.
But as the beetles kind of were looking for a better host, like the demon wasn't happy being in beetles, it ended up finding a bat in the top of this clock tower, right? And it like transferred its main presence into this bat, which warped it. It like made it grow. It made it like kind of freak out. And so now we're dealing with a giant bat that is possessed by this demon.
Yeah. All right. So I think this thing is totally thrown me off. So I'm grabbing my Bardish and I'm just like, I'm going for it, right? Because I saw you try to cut this wound, and then all of a sudden, like, the despair, and then this door blows open, and I'm just off of instinct here. All right, so I'm gonna throw. Obviously, there's a stress dice in there. I'm using my weapon. Hunting. Let's see. My whistle's gone. Couldn't use that anyways. You gonna help me fight this thing?
Yeah, totally. I'm gonna start flanking it. But
all right, you're gonna start flanking it. So that's how we'll do it. All right. So let's see. Here we go. All right. Oh, 5 and 5. God. There we go. We're getting that pulled down. Okay, so I did get a 5 though. So weak hit. All right. So I'm gonna say that that with that pole arm, right? So I slash through and I slash its wing, right, down through its wing, and I cut one of its wings off.
Nice.
The thing screams, but it screams and turns at me, and as it turns it with its arm, it just like bats me, right?
Yeah.
Pun intended, I guess. Bats me, right? And so much that I like lose my balance, and I fall over the edge, and I just grab onto the banister.
Oh my gosh.
The railing. So I'm like over the stairs now, holding onto the railing. So I'm going to take another health point here.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So I'm down to 1 health and 1 spirit. And I'm just like holding onto the railing like this. Maybe I got my polearm. My polearm was like on the railing, like holding me, just barely holding me there. So that's me.
So I see it about to take another step towards you to finish you off, right? And I decide to try to use my magic on it. I'm going to use my Compel Beasts spell, and infuse it with my command that I have. Right, I'm going to command this beast to like retreat from you. Okay, because I don't want it coming after you. Like you're in a precarious position right now, right? So I'm using my faith. So how does the spell work again?
So all right, so let's do that real quick. So all right. So you have to spend a spirit, period.
Got it. Okay.
And then you test your luck. So roll a d6. You're looking for a 4+.
Nope.
All right. So now you get the effect you want, but you have to pay a price.
Okay. All right. So I compel this beast, right, to basically like turn back and leave you alone. The problem is it stiffens up and it turns around and looks right at me, right?
Yeah,
and it's got like no eyes, right? Like because this is like an echolocation thing. But I feel this like pulse beam straight into my brain that is just like attacking it. My spirit is broken at this point.
Are you all the way down to 0?
I'm all the way down to 0.
All right, so you're going to lose a dice from your dice pool then.
Yep. Yeah, but my spirit is broken.
Okay. All right, yeah. Okay. So the only effect is you lose the dice from the dice pool, and now when you want to use a spell, you're going to have to pay the price with health.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'm kind of broken right now.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah. And you're just standing there, right? All right, so I've got to climb up behind this thing. This thing turns, and it's just like echo beaming into you, right? Whatever its high-pitched shrill. And I see you just like standing there, like maybe blood's like coming out of your nose, or something, right? And so I'm like,
a not angry 11 is what's happening to me.
There you go. Yeah.
Right? I'm not angry. It's just blood's coming out no matter what.
Yeah. Sorry. So I pull so I'm like, I got to get up there. I think I can do this. So I reach behind my pack and I pop the cork and I guzzle some of my family's wine, throw it, right? It gives me the strength. And I pull myself up. onto that thing, and I get my pole arm, and I just go to ram right through the back, right, shirt wherever I can. So I'm going to put hunting in there because I've hunted beasts before, right? I got my pole arm right there. I'm going to say, because I drank my family's wine in there, right? And then obviously it's a stressful situation. So here we go. And I do have 3 dice because you start with 6. You do start with 6 in your dice pool, and I've lost 3. Cool. So, okay, this is going to be bad. All right. So I run through it, right? And that pole goes right through it, shrinks right through it.
And it hits me.
It's a pole arm, and it goes through it, and it pokes you as well.
Oh.
And I'm like, yes! And I'm like, but I'm so excited. I'm like pushing the pole. I'm like, yeah! And then it feels a little bit more resistance. I'm like, wait, what's that? No! Because I realized what I did. And so I try to pull it back, which, is not a good thing to do. But, so I try to pull it back. But this thing is like screaming. It's wailing, right? And I think it's going to die right there on it. And so now it's like its weight just falls on the pole, and I'm like falling down trying to hold it right on the stairs while it's, I've sliced your belly in front. So you probably lose a health.
Oh, I totally already lost the health. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as soon as that happens, right? As soon as this thing dies, there's like this sort of like, we feel like disoriented, right? We're kind of like shifting. We're sort of like, whoa, what's happening? And we see this sort of like mist, infernal mist smoke that's kind of like surrounding the creature, right? And we see this like rend in the earth open up in the bottom of the tower, and this smoke is just sucked down into the depths of hell, right? And the ground closes up, and all of a sudden, like, we're not disoriented anymore. Like we look at the clock, and it seems to be around the same time as what it should be.
The runes of like ashed and dusted and blown off of the walls.
Yep, exactly. And so but we look out the window, right? Kind of like there's a little window that's there. We look out the window, and there's just rotting corpses
just laying
everywhere in the courtyard, right? And beetles like exiting and like going off into the forest, right? Like they're not possessed anymore. They're probably like, what the crap are we doing inside of this like head,
Yeah. And then and so I think
really gross.
It's really gross, and I think we probably sit up there for a minute and kind of catch ourselves as we're watching, kind of thinking through this. And then down deep below in the mount of rotted flesh, I see a glimmer. It's my slide whistle.
Hey! And scene.
Yeah. All right, what'd you think?
Dude, that was a lot of fun.
That was total fun, right?
Yeah.
So I Bury the Gods, right? $13 on Exalted Funeral. Easy to play. There is a couple mechanics on healing and one on leveling up. But really, when you level up, you just you take, for every dice that you lost from your dice pool, you roll. And on a 4+, maybe. Actually, let me look it up real quick. Yeah, okay. On a 4+, for every dice that you bring back into your pool, you get an experience point. So I got 1 experience point.
So you rolled the dice that you lost?
You roll the dice that you lost.
Yeah, I didn't get anything.
Yeah. So you can never have more than so then you can spend experience points. So it costs 6 experience to choose a new skill. And it can be associated with any background. You can spend 9 experience to choose a new spell, and you can spend 6 experience to choose a new spell from one of the 3 domains of magic associated with your spirit. So
that's cool.
Yeah, so 6 to get one from your domain, or 9 from any domain, or 6 to get a skill from anywhere. And that's how you level up. You can never have more than 12 spells. You can never have more than 6 skills.
Do you ever get to level up your health or spirit?
That's one of the core game mechanics is 3 and 3.
You're not dead when it happens, right? You just end up losing dice, which could give you more experience.
I would say if both of us had gone to 0 health and 0 spirit there in the tower with the bat, we'd probably both be dead.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Just story-wise. But if one person survives, you could probably, it just depends on how you want to play. But
just give them their family wine, and it's like a healing factor.
There you go. The special family wine. So, dude, lots of fun, man. That was cool.
Yeah. A lot of easy improv there, right? So.
Total. I think that's the key is that, if you're good at, if you played lots of role-playing games, you're good at improv. Like, I think you and I are pretty good at improv and having a good time. You can play it totally DM-less. If you have a group that's not super creative, maybe, but still likes to play, you could have someone that was a DM that could roll this and drive the story, right? At that point, they're just driving the story.
Yeah. Like we were able to kind of riff off of each other. Like, okay, cool. There's this time thing going on, right? There's an inn and the Beatles and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean, like we were able to riff a little bit. So if you've got a group that enjoys doing that, I think that this is a super fun DM-less game. But look, it doesn't take much to DM it. In fact, I would say it takes very little. Like you don't even need to prep anything. Just like roll the thing and then just kind of come up with a story.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. At the end of the day, you're trying to head towards the Empire City and figure out what bad stuff happens along the way and how you're going to deal with it, right?
I mean, the great thing about a system like this is that like it's kind of like Warhammer 40K in the sense of like if you've got a story or something that is contradictory to what you have played before, roll with it. You know what I mean? Like
make it work.
Yeah, there's like a demon that's altering like perception right now, so it's totally weird. You know what I mean? And just like roll with it and make it work. And just it can totally be fun. It doesn't need to be a 10 adventure campaign that you're trying to like run. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, good stuff. I love the simplicity of it, and I love that, like you said, the story is just driven by cues. It's like, well, gosh, what's the problem with this town? All right, let's figure out what's the problem with this town is with 2 dice rolls,
Yeah.
And then you just play with it. And what does the monster look like at the top of the tower? We had no idea what that monster looked like until we got to the top of the tower. The door opened.
That's true.
And then we rolled the dice, and the dice told us what the monster looked like.
Yep.
We had fun with it. So good stuff. And I do like that the dice, the concept of a miss, a weak hit, and a strong hit means that you're not just going to tell the story the way you want to tell it.
Right.
It's going to steer you a little. The dice are still going to steer you a little bit. As long as you play the dice honestly, right? Which is what makes it fun. But good stuff. So hopefully you guys got a flavor, right, of what you can do outside of D&D.
Where can you find this again?
Exalted Funeral. Share my screen one more time here. Entire screen share. So if you go to Exalted Funeral, which is a
exaltedfuneral.com.
Yeah, exaltedfuneral.com, which does a lot of like indie game stuff. You can find it in here. I don't actually know how to find it from their main page, but maybe if you go to catalog, I don't know where actually. Huh.
That's funny.
It's buried in here somewhere. But anyway,
you probably Google it, right?
Yeah.
Exalted Funeral, Bury the Gods.
Yeah, I think if we just do that, I bury the gods. There it is. Boom.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, there. I buried the gods. Cool.
Yeah. So good stuff, man.
Absolutely. A lot of fun. Go ahead and check it out. Hey, and if you get it, tell them that Tabletop and Beyond turned you on to this. Because,
that's right.
I mean, we really did, right? So we'll probably at the creator and just let them know that we did a little review. But you guys should totally check it out. Pick it up yourself and run it. And look, if you're one of our Patreon members, we do run. We plan to run some RPGs monthly, like virtually, depending on where you're at and where you live. And this could be one of them if you're interested. Like we totally have a lot of fun with this. So just let us know. We'd love to run it. So thank you all for listening. We appreciate it. And have a great night.
Thanks, guys.